All right, the other big story is unfolding in Cape Town today. That's where Police Minister Senzo Mchunu will testify before Parliament's ad hoc committee, expected to start from 11 a.m. The committee was established to investigate KZN top cop Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi's allegations of criminal infiltration, corruption and political interference in the justice system. Mkhwanazi alleges that Mchunu has links to Northwest businessman Mogotsi, who in turn has access to crime intelligence. SABC News reporter Bulelani Phillip is watching the story, and he joins us now live from Parliament. And Bulelani, great anticipation in the lead up to 11 o'clock, given how central Mchunu's evidence is to piecing together what might have happened within the SAPS.
You're quite correct, is that ever since that explosive press conference by KZN Police Commissioner General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi, Senzo Mchunu, who is now the police minister who's on special leave, has said that he wants his day to tell his side of the story. He's remained a little bit out of the public eye ever since then, but today is the day for him to actually be able to dispel all the allegations that he faces from General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi. Of course, he's been accused of political interference in the work of the police. For example, the decision by himself to disband the political killings task team on New Year's Eve. That accusation is one of the main issues that is resolving around the allegations that he faces. Of course, the other issue is his association with a Northwest activist who happens to use his name in terms of getting certain information or setting up meetings with a tenderpreneur who's also linked to criminal networks, Nhlanhla. So Senzo Mchunu will have his day to actually give an indication of what is his relationship with Mogotsi, as well as whether does he have any association or relationship with Nhlanhla. So those are some of the issues that he has to answer to. But of course, the other issue that he needs to actually answer to is the allegation that he never consulted the political killings task team and leadership about the rationale of making that directive. And also at the same time, he's also not been able to actually, assure the nation that that decision that he took is not a means to protect all of these politically connected people or criminal networks. So those are the issues in the main that I think members of Parliament are going to be focusing on when they lead evidence, as well as when they examine his testimony.
Given what is at stake, has this committee said how much time they're going to need with Mchunu on the hot seat, so to speak? I mean, what we've seen in the past is one day is reserved for the evidence leader and another for MPs to ask questions. But given the fact that there's so much to go through, I imagine they might have to tweak that schedule slightly.
Well, he is a central figure in all of the issues that are being investigated by this ad hoc committee. Of course, significantly is that his time that will be spent giving an evidence in chief has been set aside from today up until some time after lunch tomorrow. And therefore, after that, he's expected to be back here on Tuesday, where he will then be examined by members of Parliament. But there is an indication already that if the time that has been allocated for Tuesday is not enough, is likely to make his way back here on Wednesday to finish off questions from members of Parliament. So he is the first witness that has been allocated that additional time, because I guess there is anticipation that they will probably need additional time to actually get through all the issues that they want all ironed out and clarified. Ayanda.
Yeah, so much has been said about this process itself, Bulelani, and which of the MPs should frankly not be part of this particular ad hoc committee. Dan Barnard, for example, was asked to step away from it after she was named by Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi. The DA had promised to look into that. Has there been feedback?
Well, the committee did sit and discuss this matter last night, but I can confirm that it's still far from over, because even though Parliament gave a legal opinion that suggests that the two members of Parliament that are part of this committee that are being accused of being in a conflict of interest, their position, they've actually said that there is no need for those two members to actually recuse themselves following them laying a criminal complaint against the General Shadrack Sibiya, rather, who is the suspended Deputy National Police Commissioner. The DA, on its part, also had its own legal opinion that says that its MP DA, Diane Kohler-Barnett, will actually participate in this process and only recuse herself in the sections where she has been named or in relation to the evidence that links her to the accusations that have been leveled against her by General Mkhwanazi. But in the end, the committee last night resolved that all of the two legal opinions that have been furnished, the parties must then study them and actually formulate their own positions so that when the committee meets over the weekend or on Monday, they can then finalize this matter to come to a conclusion, or whether do these members recuse themselves or do they remain in the committee. Ayanda.
Right, Bulelani, Phillip, part of our team in Cape Town, juggling so many balls around the story. We'll certainly keep a close eye on developments in the lead up to 11 o'clock when hopefully the suspended police minister, Senzo Mchunu, will take to that hot seat. For now, thanks very much indeed.